Well, good morning. Welcome to my Saturday weekly update recap question and answer. I don't know what this video is going to be all about, but I'm going with a new idea here and just going to see how it goes. For those of you that aren't familiar with my YouTube channel, I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just share my experience and adventures living on the road, to just the general overview of the lifestyle. I like to kind of edit and chop up some of the footage, put it to music, and express a little bit of creativity with those videos, and just overall make it entertaining and a little glimpse into the lifestyle that I'm living. It's kind of an alternative lifestyle, becoming more and more popular as more and more people are sharing what they're doing on YouTube. So this video, as opposed to those, is just going to be a little bit more of trying to connect with you viewers and touch on any questions or things that I've reflected on over the week, and looking back, the feedback that I've got from the comments and emails on those videos during the week. So first off, I just want to thank all of you viewers. All of your positive support means so much to me. One of the questions I get a lot is, do I get lonely out here traveling as a solo traveler? I probably would get lonely if I wasn't doing this YouTube channel. This really, it may seem weird, and it still is kind of weird to me, this online connection with people. And now that I'm meeting up with a lot of you viewers and subscribers, it really materializes the fact that we're establishing a connection here with me sharing my life with basically the whole world on this YouTube channel. The people that have tuned in and keep coming back and are following along on my life's journey, we are establishing a connection, and that's what it's really all about for me. I originally started making these videos for my mom, just to let her know that I was happy, eating well. That's where the cooking segments come in. And, you know, I have full support from my parents. They are, you know, my biggest support group is, and you guys are a part of that. All of the viewers combined, they watch the videos, and it's a way for them to know that I'm safe and doing okay and having fun out here and eating well. So that's kind of how the format for my video started. I just wanted to just basically give the viewers a glimpse in on my life, that this is actually a viable option for people, and it's an option for me that's been working out well. I've actually attained more happiness and fulfillment than ever living in any other way. And it's a very small space, and there's a ton of challenges involved in that, but I've found that what it's provided me with, and that's mostly a lot more freedom, a lot more time, and the ability to get out into nature, which as I found to be an amazing healer. Being in nature is just good for your mind and your body, and that's something that I try to show in my videos. And then it doesn't take a lot of money. You can find free, beautiful places to camp, and that's kind of the underlying theme in most of my videos. This Saturday video is just kind of a reflection on the whole experience. Like I said, answering any questions. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on a couple questions I've gotten recently. My last video I showed this solar shower tube that I made, some patchwork on some rust, and a lot of the feedback was like, you know, why not repair it right, or, you know, go to a body shop. And I don't plan on having this van for much longer. When I first bought this over 3 years ago, almost 3.5 years, I told myself I get 5 years out of this van. I paid $1,800 for it. I have not put a ton of money into it, so I'm still well under the $5,000 mark as far as what I've invested into it total, with repairs, all of the camping stuff I put into it, solar panels, batteries, fridge. I think I'm at about $3,500 invested in this van. Maybe a little bit more with some major repairs I did before I hit the road, but I am saving and have been saving for my next vehicle. I've got a very decent amount of savings saved up. I've actually, since I've been living this lifestyle, I've been able to save more money than ever, and that's mostly contributed to not paying rent. Not having to have that monthly $500 to $1,000 a month going into a place to live or a mortgage. It's really allowed me to just bank my money away. So right now I've got enough money to handle any major breakdown with this van. Like right now, today, I've got enough money to put a rebuilt engine and a rebuilt transmission and still have money left over. So I'm not going to do that. When this van starts to have and show signs of major problems, it's going to be time for me to turn it over. And what I'm really looking into is a box van. Now, there is a YouTube channel, Dream Side Out, and he has pretty much the perfect rig in my opinion. It's a 10-foot box van, retired U-Haul moving van, van front, cargo box in back, and that seems to me, in all my research, that is going to be the ideal vehicle, RV, whatever you want to call it, for myself. I like the custom build, and that's, I think, what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to try to just keep saving for another year and a half, 2 years, so I could not only purchase a good quality box van, but also still have money left over for any emergencies that would come up with that new vehicle, health problems. That's what that emergency fund is there for. So, and also, you know, I don't share about my finances a lot, but I have an investment account too. For my last job, they had a 401k program, and when I quit that job, I was able to roll it over into an IRA account that I actually pay into. You know, most of my savings is just in savings, so that's something a little extra. Kind of thinking about my future. I don't know where this world is going to go, so I try not to invest too much into that, because who knows, it may not be available. We live in a much different generation than like where my parents came from, where like Social Security and retirement was like a real thing. Us newer generations, we don't know what to trust and believe in anymore. So not to get too into that, but just wanted to let you guys know that that's a lot of the questions I've been getting lately is, you know, how am I prepared? Or yeah, I'm doing all right, guys. This YouTube channel does provide some revenue for me. I've been able to almost live off of the revenue that I make. I split it 50-50 with Google. That's who owns YouTube. If you're unfamiliar with that, about how YouTube works, it is a full-time career for a lot of people. There are people in their 20s that have very successful YouTube channels, and they're making like 3 figures a year. I know it sounds unbelievable. One of the biggest YouTubers is a millionaire because of his goofy videos that he posts on YouTube. It is a viable option now. We live in a technical generation, and I believe that it's only going to grow more. YouTube is here to stay. I think there's going to be competitor platforms, but I think YouTube is the original. They may change things up, but I think as far as people taking upon themselves to produce a video content and share with people, that will always be something that there is a demand for. So I'm not totally invested in it. I still do work camping jobs. I'm actually working right now in Heber City. I'm still at Laurent and Marquet's place, and been here over a week. We've had so much fun going out and doing different activities, but it came up that with his work, he works kind of partners with a contractor, and they were having trouble finding a good laborer. So I volunteered, and next thing you know, I'm digging post holes for a fence project. It's really hard work, and it's been hot lately, but it feels good to actually get back out there. Manual labor is kind of my thing. I can just get in the zone, typically get left alone, and just, it feels good for me to work hard, work up a sweat, be sore the next day, and that's kind of always been the type of jobs that I take. So if you're wondering why I'm in Heber City so long, that's kind of extended my stay, other than the fact that Laurent and Marquet are just awesome people. We're like developing a friendship, and I feel like I'm going to be back here. They are super into skiing in the winter, and I think I'm going to try to get back here one winter. And I have a very little experience snowboarding and skiing, but I think that's something I may want to try to pursue in some winter months. So that's what's going on there. Super grateful that this work came up. It kind of was coincidentally, I've had trouble with some of my camera gear. My main outdoor camera is a GoPro I use with a 3-axis gimbal. The gimbal conked out on me, which really sucks. So now, if you've noticed, my video is probably going to be a little bit more shaky. Having this job come up is going to give me a little bit of extra money to be able to figure out. I don't know if I'm going to stick with the GoPro. It has its pros and cons. What I'm filming on right now is my little Sony Action Cam, which is not the best all-around camera. You really can't use a tripod with it and use the external mic jack, so it has a ton of wind noise when you're out there. It's more of a good dash cam or inside the van camera. So I'm sorting through that, so bear with me if the footage seems a little bit different. I do have a backup camcorder that I'm using, and I'm going to try to step up to filming in 1080p. I've been doing 720, so if you watch on a high definition TV, you should notice a little bit better video quality, so that's something I'm working on. I don't want to ramble on too long. What I really need from you guys is feedback and more questions. I would love to address more questions. Some of the most recent questions I got is about my solar shower tube. So I'm going to do in an upcoming video when I'm actually outside, I'm going to show more of that. So far it's been working out great. One of the big questions was, you know, is the water sloshing back and forth an issue, the weight of the water? I fit about 5 to 6 gallons in there. That's an average of about 50 pounds. weight up on the side of the van. I have driven to Salt Lake City and back from here with it up there. Totally forgot it was up there. Do not notice anything. Don't hear any water sloshing. Just not an issue. It's been working out great. I'll show you how I pressurize it. I just use a 12-volt air compressor that you would use on your tires. Get that up there on the air valve, pressurizes it. Where that air valve is, there's a threaded cap on the pipe. You unscrew that. That's how you fill it up with water. Basically use a hose that I keep with me at any RV fill station. That's how people get water in their RVs. Same deal, just fill it up there. So that addresses the questions on that. And I think I'm going to try to wrap it up. Like I was trying to say, any feedback from you guys, anything that you would like to hear me talk about as far as this whole experience, and you know, anything, any questions I'll address. And I really do want to turn this into, as I get more and more comfortable talking to this camera for extended periods of time. In most of my videos, the segments are kind of chopped up, so I don't, you know, I'm still not super comfortable just getting my words out. I'm kind of an introvert anyway, and that happens even when I'm talking to people face to face. And that's something I want to work on personally with myself. I do have goals. I hope the kind of financial stuff I've shared with you gives you some insight to, I'm just not out here floating around. I actually do have some long-term goal plans. One of the other things I'm saving up for, hopefully, is I can purchase land one day. As I'm out here roaming around, it's just not just floating around. I'm actually taking note and looking at the geography, talking to locals, and in the back of my head wondering if, you know, is this the place that where if I had a piece of land I could call home base? Would it work out weather-wise? Climate overall through the year. So there's a lot of stuff kind of going on behind the scenes that I really don't touch on. So if anything I've brought up you want to hear more about, leave that in the comment section. Any questions? And I just kind of want to turn this into an opportunity to really address like more personal stuff. And you know, I'm going to use my discretion. I know the last time I brought up personal stuff, people are usually pretty responsive to it and use some taste and not get too personal, but yet there is a lot of stuff that people have fears about, and that's one of the things that I hope that my videos do, is help people overcome their fears and realize that, you know, you can either just be stuck in fear or you can get out and give it a shot and give it a try. And it can be anything, not just living in a van or living mobily. Anything in life that comes up, like fear can be paralyzing, and it can keep you from having a real, genuine experience of life. And that's one of the things that I try to be aware of at all times, and not be paralyzed, and not be stuck, and not, you know, pursue certain activities and stuff because I'm scared of something. That's an opportunity to overcome those fears, try something new, and, you know, really live life to the fullest. And that's kind of what I'm really passionate about most right now. And these meetups are really helping me do that. I'm meeting people that do different things for fun, and realizing like what it takes, the dedication it takes to actually like pursue things. Like Marquet and Laurent that I'm staying with here, they're really into skiing in the winter. In the summer, they're into surfing, kiteboarding, kite surfing, and it's like, you know, you have to make that happen. You have to get yourself out there and you have to do it. And a lot of times, you know, it takes a little bit of work to get out there. You've got to plan, you've got to pack, you've got to have, you know, the gear, and you just got to make it happen and get out there and do it. And that's something I'm learning from people as I meet up with people. Everyone that has these different activities that they do and different things they do for fun, that takes the doing part. And I know for myself, a lot of the time in my, you know, past, I just thought about doing stuff a lot. And, you know, I don't want to just think about doing stuff. I want to get out there and actually do it. So I'm going to kind of end there. I know this was very scattered, and I'm hoping with your help and feedback that you can keep me a little bit more on point here, and then I'll get more comfortable talking on camera. So this has already gone on a little too long, I believe, so let me know what you guys think. Hopefully next Saturday's video will be a little bit more organized and more informational. In the meantime, we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.